called you like a few weeks ago? Okay.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to see if I can't get her on her cell. If I can't, can I get your number and have her call you back? Is this an emergency with regard to your care or...
Right. I wasn't sure. Okay, so she's not at the office, right?
She's not. No, I'm trying to... I know she was at a meeting outside the office, and I was trying to transfer
Okay.
to her cell, but
can you tell me?
Ringing and ringing.
Right. I was trying to figure out what her job title was.
Okay, well, she could discuss that with you.
I know, I understand, but okay, can I know who's speaking here? Because here's the problem. I mean, no one gives me their names or job titles or whatever, so, it doesn't really sound like you guys are being honest. Because, you won't even give me a full name. So can I have your name?
My name is Cindy.
Last name?
Engel, E-N-G-L-E.
Okay, and your relationship to Miss Atia?
I'm her assistant.
You're her assistant, so you should basically have all the information, right?
Yes, I do. However, I don't, it's just not our policy to reveal information over the phone.
Right. Okay. Because here's the thing. Because one thing I understand is what MedStar Family Choice does is they get a lot of money from the government, but then how they use the money is they actually, in fact, do a lot of work over the phone. Everything comes, as the word goes, telephonically, right? I mean, you use that word, and for everything you say that you have this service and that service, but then the catch at the end is it's actually telephonically. So I'm just surprised that now you want to say that you have this in-person type relationship and you can't discuss things over the phone, when essentially most of your work is actually outsourced to Wisconsin. So I'm not sure how you would do that kind of, where you can't reveal information over the phone. But here's the thing. Ultimately, your office has a fiduciary duty, and that means you basically have to get the information out to your members even before they ask it. But after they ask it, it should come at the first instant. So it should not be a matter of I need to call somebody else or I need to check with legal. That's not how it works. I mean, that's not a fiduciary duty. I mean, you do understand that. I mean, it does state that in your thing. It says items like, we want you to help us take care of your health. And how would you do that when basically you have harmed me severely, MedStar, and your doctors have actually committed medical malpractice, caused severe injuries? And so now what's happening is, when I'm caught, regardless of your doctors having done all this harm, since you have a fiduciary duty, you still have the responsibility to provide medical care. So you can't just say that when I complain about that you take the matter over to legal and they make up a statement defending your doctor's actions, but at the same time you haven't done anything to provide care. So it really doesn't matter that you say, I need to go to this number or that number. That's not really my responsibility. I mean, I really called that 800 number initially, and really that's all I need to do, because you're supposed to get the information out to me, and it's not a matter of this department or that department. You're responsible in total. And so really, so I need to, so I'm trying to figure out if, since I called and I've been on the phone basically for half an hour with MedStar Family Choice, and I know, and you guys don't even give out individual names and stuff usually, and so really the responsibility is with you, where, with your office, and you need to answer my questions as soon as possible, because that's the bottom. I mean, so really you're supposed to have these items answered before I even ask it. So I'm asking you, and I've asked, several members of your office repeatedly, and they just stonewall. Why is that? So I want to know, why is it that when I complained that your doctors have actually harmed and injured me, and instead of getting care for who you're responsible for, you go out, you go to your lawyers, and you get a statement written up for your doctor, which helps the doctor in case not in case, after the patient dies. And you know I have put this information on the internet, and you guys haven't contested it. You do realize I wrote on the internet, Samet, you know who that is, that's your boss, orders employees to kill and lie. Now, you haven't disputed that claim. That's amazing. So that must be true. Is that true?
Maya?
I'm sorry?
I hate to interrupt you, but I need to tell you that I'm sorry that you're upset, but I'm not the person that you would be talking to or relaying this information.
I know, but let me not get into the specifics. I know. Let me not get into the specifics. Hello?
Yes.
Right, so let me not get into the specifics, but do you understand this point, which is outside of the specifics? That is, when you have a fiduciary duty, it's not any individual person at the office where you get to keep on saying that someone else has to answer. In fact, you're supposed to outreach and you know that's in your book. You have items like bring the patient into compliance. You have items like we want you to help us take care of your health. So this is more than even, I know, but this is not in particular to my case. So can I just go over, you're not a secretary, you're actually an assistant, so you know actually what the rules are. So I'm not discussing my particular case, but I'm trying to go by what your rules are and what the relationship you have with your members are. And so my understanding is that you have to proactively, help the members and get information out to the members. And my point is, even when you don't do that intentionally, then when I call in, or if anyone calls in, they should have a right to get that information right away when they ask a question. And so that's amazing that when they ask it right away, then you want to get delayed. Because you understand, when you have a fiduciary relationship, it's not like an attorney cross-examining you. So if a patient asks a doctor something, the doctor is supposed to answer it right away. And the doctor is not supposed to say, I have to check with my attorney. So that's the difference. So it really comes down to the relationship. And, I've been complaining for a while with your office, and I went to all the doctors you sent me, and they continue to harm me, and they haven't provided any service of value, and in fact, they will continue to harm. So I'm just trying to figure out what exactly your rules are. Can you tell me not in my particular case, if that's all right, what I'm reading in your enrollee handbook, that I have a right to get my records amended. Is that right? Do I have a right to have my records amended with the doctor?
What I'm trying to explain to you is I'm just not the correct person for you to speak to.
I know, but I'm trying to understand. No, but I'm trying to understand.
Call you back.
Right, but here's the thing. When I call, because then I'm not sure what exactly you are doing there. Do you understand? Because when I call your numbers, the person, whoever answers, in fact, even at the 800 number, they should have been able to answer everything I asked, because what it says, because I'm asking you something directly from your enrollee handbook. Have you ever heard of such an item, an enrollee handbook? Right? I'm sorry?
What was your question?
Okay, I'm trying to ask you some information about your enrollee handbook. So have you ever heard of such an item called the enrollee handbook? Are you familiar with it?
I am not.
Oh wow, you're not familiar with the enrollee handbook. Okay. Unbelievable. Okay, because that's basically it. So you put all rules upon me, which or any member they have to follow, and not you, meaning MedStar Family Choice, which is you. And this trick doesn't work on me, which is you pass the issue from one person to other and saying it's somebody else's responsibility. If I call MedStar Family Choice, somebody there, it's your responsibility on your side to have the right people to get the information out to me. And
that's why I'd like to get your number and have Miss Atia call you back.
I know, but why is it Miss Atia can answer it and you can't answer it? Because essentially you are at the same office. So you mean to tell me you don't work for MedStar Family Choice?
I do. Yes, I work for MedStar.
Okay, so what kind of
management?
Okay, calendar management. Okay. So, do you have, I guess you have access to my file. Can you tell me what's in there since I have a right to have it?
I do not have access to your files.
Wow. Okay, so I did call the, I didn't call you specifically. I did call the main 800 number, and that was almost 45 minutes ago. And really, that person should have got the answer. Why is it only Miss Atia can give the answer? Because that's what I'm trying to understand. I mean, really, you have 800 numbers, and you have this and that, and I don't think the service was actually Miss Atia's service, right? I mean, it is MedStar Family Choice where. Is there somebody else who can answer it for me, or is it just Miss Atia? So I have to depend. I have to basically set my life to Miss Atia. Sorry.
They went out of their way to transfer you to Miss Atia.
Okay, so they should not have gone out of their way, and they should have actually answered my questions, which should be in your system. I mean, do you keep separate information about somebody, or would that have been, can I call back, or can you send me back to that 800 number and they can give me all my information from my file? Is that possible?
I can send you back to that number.
But can they give me all my information from my file?
I don't know. I do not know.
Because, right, okay.
And I do not have access to anything that they do.
So why is it, I mean, do you understand the point I'm making? What's happened is, your doctors have caused severe injuries to me, and then now what's happening is, your insurance, which was supposed to take care of me, is taking care of your doctors, and it's not helping me. So you mean to tell me if I am in the emergency room, I have to depend on you, Miss Atia, your entire legal department, your executives, right? They all have to sign off on me getting care. Nothing can go forward until Miss Atia and Jane Hunt and maybe some other executives at MedStar itself and the legal department, they all have to basically sign off, or they have to kind of figure out, can they give me help here? Can they do, I mean, do you understand the point? I mean, when I go to the emergency room, or when I ask something, things have to come out instantly. Or when I go to the doctor's office, they have to give me the answer instantly. It's not something where someone has to go study it by committee and then come back with an answer. So do you see the problem? So you have no capability. I mean, why is it you have promised the state that you can deliver this kind of service? Because you can't. Because I've been on the phone with your office even this time for like 55 minutes, and I've gotten nowhere, right? So how would that possibly help anyone else? I mean, do you actually help people, or do you just keep everyone, you just pass people on for like 50, 60 minutes? But wouldn't there be somebody else at your office who can answer this question? I mean, why is it just Miss Atia can answer the question? I mean, that's why I keep trying to understand, because, because...
To put you through to, I would, but they're all out of the office attending a meeting off-site. That's the problem. It's just, at this particular time.
Wow. So, okay. But, okay.
Now, if I could get your number to have them call you back.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I know Miss Atia has my number, and I've asked her simple things, and so even when I'm on the phone with her, it goes like 10, 15 minutes, and she really doesn't go past, if I ask her the date at the beginning, even at the end, After like 9 or 10 minutes, she doesn't actually give me the date. So I wasn't really sure how much information I can actually get out of her. But really, if you have information in your system, you're supposed to give it. You understand that? I mean, it's my privacy rights. It's my information. You're not supposed to be keeping information about me with it. I mean, the system basically is once you ID'd me, once you know who I am, it's not somebody else calling in, you should be able to give me all my information. And the problem is this, you're hiding information about me. And that's simply not following. I mean, can you...
I do not have access to your information. I do not have access to any member information.
Okay, can you pass me to someone who would have access and who can read the file out to me and see if Ms. Attia left any notes? Since apparently my entire health depends on Ms. Attia. So if I go to the doctor's office, so you're telling me if I go to the doctor's office or if I go to the emergency room, if Ms. Attia doesn't want to answer the phone, that's kind of it. That's the end of the story.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think you're twisting my words.
So why is it everything depends on Miss Attia or some excuse? It's because I was supposed to have, you know, I went through all the medical processes with your MedStar doctors. And so the complaint basically was that they harmed me and they wrote false information in my files and they're concealing information and they're not releasing it. So I'm trying to figure out why I can't get that. So if that's the information that Ms. Attia is also concealing, then and committing fraud, and then why is it that when I go to the emergency room, I need that information? So that's the point. When I go to the emergency room, that's the information I need. And you're telling me only so how can it be I'm twisting your words? That's exactly what you're telling me. Ms. Attia basically has my entire medical record. She has the understanding of what my medical condition is. And it's not just Ms. Attia, which is incredible. You don't know it, but you don't know what my condition is, but it's amazing. Your attorneys at MedStar know what my condition is, even though they were never authorized to be involved in my care. So why is it attorneys at MedStar and executives at MedStar have my complete file and I can't have my complete file when it's me who needs my accurate information? Isn't that amazing? I mean, why is it they have my information? I'm sorry?
I can't answer that.
Can you just send me to someone who can answer my questions? I know.
As soon as possible. And at this time, I'm going to have to end the call.
Is there somebody else who can answer my question?
No, I'm sorry. I said that I would take...
Okay, so we do understand. Now it's gone. I know. And you do realize I am making recordings of all these calls. And so it's gone for an hour.
You're allowed to do recordings.
I'm sorry?
You are not allowed to do recordings.
Yes, I do have... you have permission to record my calls, and I have... Yes, ma'am. It's not an individual item. I do have a understanding with your office that I do get to record your calls.